So the way that I had the answers from the two gentlemen was very similar to the one that I had gotten when I went to a Zen Buddhist temple about a week before that. And there was a question and answer section where the Buddhist monk who gave the lecture that day, and he is the master, many disciples who are studying after him, and he had an open question time. And I was led by the Holy Spirit to ask him a question. And so when what I asked was, this question was what the Creator wanted me to ask. Creator says, ask him, how does he describe God? And I felt very shy again because it's rudimentary question, I felt. And the other people were asking about karma and asking about, he kept talking about the Buddha, doing Buddha, what is Buddha, and just stuff. But it was very the other stuff were very mind and intellectual, and he answered them, but I could feel that they were very confused because it was almost like he's saying the answer to question is not askable. It's like, kind of, how do you grab hold of that? How do you talk about something that you can't talk about? Kind of, that was the way he answered a lot of questions. I don't know if he's aware of that, but that was the impression that I got. So I was able to ask my question. He answered my question the following he gave me 3-point answer. He said, number 1, God is just a word. And I'm quoting him because he's bringing us, I guess, okay, so now I'm going to explain what I think he meant. So he's just saying that he's just a word because let's bring everything down to now. Because what I ask in God now is really just a word. So let's bring it to the actual facts of what it is. So I can understand that, that's fine. But it's really not helpful for somebody who's seeking God and wanting to know God. And well, first he asked, am I asking on a personal thing where I'm asking him specifically? And I said yes. So he's answering for himself. And number 2, he said he thinks there is something like that in this world. There's something out there. There's a lot of, there is proof. There is something that denotes that points to that, but it's very mysterious. God is this thing called God is very mysterious. And he didn't say thing. He just said very mysterious. This is very mysterious. Okay. And then 3rd point he said was, he doesn't believe that consciousness could ever understand God. The human consciousness can never comprehend the vastness of what God actually is. Okay. And he says after these 3, he's like, is that enough? Because he said he can go on. And I thanked him, and he ended, and he went on to the other questions. And I asked a couple people I've spoken with what they thought of his answers. And both people that I asked said to me that that was a very smart and intelligent answer. But what I felt that God wanted me to see was that they didn't know God. They didn't have a relationship with the Creator. The way he's answered it showed me very, very clearly none of these wonderful people had a relationship on a personal level with the Creator. And that is actually really sad. That makes Creator very, very sad. That He created all these wonderful things and all these wonderful beings, but we don't recognize Him. We would rather talk, the people would rather talk to the ghosts than they would do with Him, with our Father. And that saddened Him so completely. I felt the sadness. And that was what Creator wanted me to see. That all these people who are in discipline and pursuing spiritual enlightenment, but they didn't know Him. They didn't know the Creator. They didn't know God. And God is just waiting for the chance to be known. If you just ask the question, show me yourself, let me know you're there. And He's so willing to be there, right? Always waiting, just waiting for you to turn from the materials and the distractions in the world and the busyness of our minds to ask. And these people who've spent years reaching for enlightenment never thought that they could turn to God Himself. But they pray to Buddha, they prostrate to Buddha, and these people prostrate to Buddha, the statues. And when they do prostrate, when they go down onto their hands and knees, their backside is flipped up above the head. Their butt is higher than the level of their head. And I don't think that is a very elegant sight. And Jesus has never asked His disciples to ever do that to Him. So just looking at it on a physical level, it's not very elegant.